Welcome to Bible Tube. Today's topic, and my favorite word, pride. And not for the reasons you would think. The word pride has been thrown around and overused more than Mariah Carey Christmas song. And you would think at some point it would get old, but no, it continues to pick up speed.
I find myself saying, I'm doing what's right because God is all about love and bringing people together. But do I have the acknowledgement and understanding about his standard in the Bible? I can acknowledge the standard, but it doesn't mean I'm going to abide by them, hence leading to my downfall. Our standards in our lives can fluctuate due to our emotion and the events that may happen to us. But despite how things are and how God may feel about them, his standards cannot, will not, and never will change. Otherwise, we would have been pushing up daisies a long time ago. Let's just face it. It's not so much the definition of pride that makes the word counterintuitive, but rather the heart of the matter behind it. In other words, to take pride into something can be a good thing, depending on the motive and the method. But allow me to break this down as an acronym, then with a definition, and finally backing up with scripture. The first letter, P, for persistent, continuing firmly or obstinately in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Pride can lead a person to his downfall. To take pride into something can inspire a lot of people, but what is the purpose of why you persist? Is it to bring glory to yourself and to others? And if so, ask yourself, would God approve of it? And even in that, we still find a way to resist God, which leads to my next letter, R, for resistant. The refusal to accept or comply with something, the attempt to prevent something by actions or argument. We as human beings are very resistant to almost everything and anything if it doesn't fit with our agenda. People would prefer not to fully commit to themselves to God because we have our plans in our lives since our youth. Sometimes those plans change, sometimes they don't. Romans 1:28. Furthermore, just as they did not think it was worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God, so God gave them over to a depraved mind, so that they may do what ought not be done. They are become full of every kind of wickedness, evil, greed, and depravity. They are full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, and malice. They are gossipers, slanderers, God-haters, insolent, arrogant, boastful. They even invent ways of doing evil. They are disobedient to their parents. They have no understanding, no fidelity, no love, no mercy. Although that they know God's righteous decrees, and those who do such things deserve death, they do not only continue in doing these very things, but also approve of those who practice them.
What? What?
God has a plan for our lives, but we want God's plan to align with our plans, and that puts us at an impasse. We can end up fighting against God. And sure, our plans may start off as noble, but somewhere down the line, we are willing to compromise and even do some shady stuff. Granted, we all got dirt, but we want what we want. But whose dream is greater, yours or God's? Which leads to my next letter, I, for influence or influencer. The capacity to have an effect or influence on the character development or behavior of someone or something, or the effect itself. We'll get back to this one towards the end of the video. D, for destined, of a person's future developing as through according to plan. Deuteronomy 1:32. In spite of this, you did not trust the Lord your God, who went ahead of you on your journey, in fire by night and in a cloud by day, to search out places for you to camp and to show you the way you should go. When the Lord heard what you said, he was angry and solemnly swore, no one from this evil generation shall see the good land I swore to give your ancestors, except Caleb, son of Jephunneh. He will see it, and I will give him and his descendants the land he set his foot on, because he followed the Lord wholeheartedly. Now, you can be destined for something great or something far worse. Because of the lack of trust in God, the Israelites in this passage chose not to obey God. And as a result, they were not able to enter the promised land. Check this out. God used Moses to rescue them from enslavement back in Egypt. And after promising a land of freedom, he stopped them from entering due to their grumbling, complaining, false worship, idol worship. The list goes on. And I can't lie, if I was wandering the desert for 40 years, following a cloud with my family members, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, nephews, from my generation to the previous one, and my only diet was Frosted Flakes, water, and birds, I would go insane too. I mean, just think about it. You eating dry cereal with pigeon, along with your nagging family. Unfortunately for most of the Israelites of that time, they did not live to tell the tale, which leads me to my final letter, E, for extinction. The fact or process of a species, family, or other group of animals or plants becoming extinct. In other words, ceasing to exist. Ecclesiastes 1:3-4. What do people gain from all their labor, at which they toil under the sun? Generations come, generations go, but the earth remains forever. Skipping on down to verse 8. All things are wearisome, more than one can say. The eye never has enough of seeing, nor the ear its full of hearing. What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. Is there anything of which one can say, look, this is something new? It is here already, long ago. It was here before our time. No one remembers the former generations, and even those yet to come. We will be remembered by those who follow them. Okay, picture this. You're an Israelite that's been walking the desert for 40 years, and you make it this close to the promised land, only just to find out that you didn't make it due to all the grumbling and complaining that you did along the way. Now, that can be quite frustrating. I'm pretty sure a lot of these Israelites had dreams and goals. And having dreams and goals is not bad. They're actually good. They're actually things that God put on our heart, put on consciousness to have. But a lot of times we don't understand the purpose of why we have those dreams, those visions, and goals. But everything that we've achieved will eventually become just another memory or segment in the history books or on a plaque. But is it gonna get someone to the waters of baptism? It's gonna show somebody the way to salvation. We're all gonna be gone one day. And we gotta ask ourselves, what is the kind of legacy we're gonna leave behind? Now, remember the letter we left out from earlier in the video? I was thinking about using the word influence or influencer, which is true. Somebody's gonna be inspired by somebody regardless on what it is. But I got a better word. I for I. And I don't mean the letter, I mean the word I. When you're caught up in your own little world, and if you're willing to do anything or go against anyone to see your dream become a reality, you represent the I in the word pride. Because your only focus is you. You have become the center of it all. And that is the reality of human nature. But you can change that. You don't have to live for yourself. You have the power to change that. Live for something bigger than just yourself. I encourage you to study the Bible and ask a lot of questions and find out what could be better than just existing, or to know the purpose of existing. You ever wonder why so many celebrities have it all, yet you still see them on the news doing some stuff? I'm just saying, the proof is in the pudding. Because like it or not, Jesus is not concerned with how many awards you earned, which is nice, or how many puppies and whales you've saved, which is also nice. But he only cares about one thing and one thing only. Did you serve him wholeheartedly? And how many of your friends you brought with you? But that's all for me today. I'm Mr. Lewis, and this was BibleTube. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. And remember, there's no I in we, but there is an I in pride.